But first, Tottenham's trophy drought will extend to 15 years after they suffered a shock FA Cup exit, losing in extra time to Championship side Middlesbrough.
19-year-old Josh Coburn, what a night for him. He scored the winner at the Riverside Stadium. But Tottenham's inconsistency continues. Head coach Antonio Conte had an interesting way of explaining the situation.
Too many up and down still for us, and for sure, I repeat, and we have to continue to work very hard and to try in the future to learn about this defeat. My old coaches in Italy, they teach me the coach sometimes has to use the carrots, sometimes has to use the stick. I have to try in every moment the right way, no? The right way. And after Barley and maybe with the stick, and then we won. after Leeds with the carrots, we lost. But I repeat, and the coach has to try to find always the best solution.
So Spurs' last trophy was back in 2008. That's 14 years ago. Incredibly, though, the last time Conte went a full season without reaching a final or winning a major honour as a club manager was back in 2010, nearly as long as Tottenham's trophy drought. He insists, though, his own record is not important. He is focused on bringing success to Spurs.
I don't think to myself. I think that when I speak with my players and with in my team, I speak and I tell that we have to think about with us, not with me. And for me, no problem. And for me, there is the desire, the will, the passion to try to continue to work very hard, to try to improve, and to make this team more stable than the past. Because I think this is the key that can change the situation.
He's playing some mind games. You know, he's so good at it. He's deflecting off everything. He's changing his approach to interviews after each game, depending on the result. And I think he's trying to deflect to get as much time to just. He knows that he needs to make a big overhaul in the squad. He's just trying to get as best he can to the end of the season to revamp this Tottenham side and make sure that it's the players that he wants and that they work the system and they've got the same passion and desire to actually win as he does, because I think that he feels that a lot of them players don't.
Well, Middlesbrough are no strangers to the FA Cup quarter-finals. They last reached this stage in 2017. And Chris Wilder hopes that results like last night's can help bring back some excitement for the fans.
There'll be young boys and girls that'll be a first taste of a big-time game. And hopefully we've whetted the appetite of those younger generation to come and support. That's what we're all trying to achieve. It's, you know, let's be right about it. You know, the football club is the heartbeat of the area, and it's important that the football club goes well. And it's stuttered a little bit over the last 4 or 5 years. It's not where it wants to be, but hopefully, you know, nights like that there's no downside to nights like this for the younger generation of supporters.
Delighted to say we're joined by former Spurs player Jamie O'Hara, who joins us now. Jamie, oh, goodness me, mate, what's going on?
Oh, it's a nightmare, isn't it? Absolutely shocking performance again last night. It's so tough being a Spurs fan and trying to obviously, you know, give the club credit where it's due. You know, beating Leeds, beating Man City. But how can you then go and get beat by Burnley, go and get knocked out the FA Cup? It's just so draining. I've had enough of it.
This is the thing, Jamie, this inconsistency. What do you put it down to? Is it the players or how much of it is on the manager?
It's a mentality at the football club. I think it's embedded in the club. I don't know how they get it out, but it's, you know, this Spursy sort of nature that everyone goes on about, it is real. You know, we're so inconsistent. I don't think you can blame the manager. Antonio Conte looks defeated on the sideline because he doesn't know what team's going to turn up. He doesn't know when he puts the players out there who's going to perform. And it happens every single game and every single week. And I'm watching him last night, his mannerisms, the way he is on the side, he looks defeated. Because How can you go and beat Leeds 4-0, put in a top performance, and then be absolutely shocking against Middlesbrough, who, credit to them, fully deserve to go through?
You know, Spurs fans weren't surprised. And you know, when they beat City, a lot of Spurs fans messaged me saying, you know what, we'll lose to Burnley now. And it was a similar thing after the Leeds result. They were saying, you know what we'll do, we'll lose to Middlesbrough in the Cup. And sure enough, they did. I think Conte laughing, it almost seems that he's sort of tapping into how the Spurs fans are feeling. It's like he's alongside them in that. And do you feel a bit for Conte? I mean, he's enjoyed success everywhere he's gone, and he seems to have found a club at the minute where he's just struggling to get any kind of back-to-back performances.
Yeah, I think the problem you've got with Antonio Conte is he's used to having world-class players throughout the team and the squads that he's had. So he goes in, he stamps his authority, hits the ground running, and he cracks on. At Spurs, he hasn't got that. He's got Son, he's got Kane. That's it. Everyone else is below the standard of what he's used to. So you're getting inconsistent performances. He's asking them to do things, and these players are just not good enough. And then he's losing hope. You can see it in the way he is on the sideline. And, you know, the inconsistency from the players every single week. The defending, the sloppy goals that we give away every single game. You know, these players we've paid a lot of money for. And some of the, you know, the attitude to keeping the ball out the net is ridiculous. And, I feel for Conte. A lot of Spurs fans are starting to turn, though. They're starting to say Conte's got to take some blame, but I don't think he has yet. Because he's dealing with these players and their mentality and their attitude. It's just not good enough from Spurs players.
Was there anyone in the Spurs team last night that you thought put in a good performance?
I actually thought Matt Doherty played all right. I think he's actually been better recently, to be honest with him. I think he's turned a corner a little bit. Maybe he's got a bit of confidence back. But apart from that, absolutely not. I mean, everyone else was just off the pace. It's Middlesbrough. I mean, come on. You know, Middlesbrough, good side under Chris Wilder, have been good. They're a championship side. We should be going in there, dictating the tempo of the game, dictating how you want to play. And just were miles off it. I mean, miles, not even pressing the ball. Letting Middlesbrough pass the ball around. We're defending on the edge of our own box. Come on, this is Spurs.
Jamie, I've got this issue at the minute with Spurs. There's talk about this rebuild, which has been going on for such a long time. But I just think it's like, why is it only Spurs? I mean, every club's rebuilding all the time, aren't they? Is it not just that they've bought badly for the last few years and now they're paying the price? Because they have spent money.
Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly what it is. The recruitment's been shocking. You look at the players that have come into the football club who, you know, we paid a lot of money for. We paid 60 million for Ndombele. I think Romero we paid, you know, near 50 million pound for. Davinson Sanchez, 40 million pound. Sessegnon, 30 million pound. Doherty, 15. You know, you can't say we haven't spent money. Of course we've spent money. But where you're spending the money is where the problem lies. The recruitment's been absolutely shocking. And the players are turning up, and then after a season, few seasons, they're all going through the motions, and then the new manager comes in and they're stuck with the same players with, you know, a poor attitude, a poor mentality, and it just seeps through the whole team. And Antonio Conte even starts looking like it's a manager's graveyard at Spurs at the minute. Any manager that goes in there ends up doing poor.
Jamie, is Conte going to be there next season?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know. He's got it in him to walk away. I think if it gets to the point where he thinks, I've took this club as far as I can and I can't get enough out of the team, then I think he could walk. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I think you need to give him the summer, back him in the transfer window when the window opens properly and you've got time to get a new group of players in and go from there. I'd hate to see him go. This is the best manager we've had in Premier League years. And he looks like he's broken already after a 3.5 month stint at Spurs, and he looks like he wants out. He's standing on the sideline, and not the passionate Antonio Conte that everyone knows and sees and loves.
OK, Jay, we're out of time, mate. Good to speak to you. Apologies,
Jamie.
it wasn't in happier circumstances, but we'll see you soon.